Kazi Rahat, and you're watching Rahat Web Dev for a long time back. And here I have back with my another brand new video. So today I'm going to show you how can you actually use the Chrome DevTools to debug your problems. Like we can use the debugger options from here. So I will show you details that how you can actually use the Chrome DevTools and how you can actually use the debugger options to see that your server is responding on time or not, and based on that you can increase your website performance as well. And so yeah, without further ado, let's get started and let's go to the let's go to this network as well. So first of all, let me zoom it out, zoom in. Okay, as you can see here I have some data that coming from the API. So okay, let's just go to the another tab so I can show you that very easily. So as you can see, this loader option is loading and the data is finally came. So how you can actually debug this to see that when the server is responding and how much time it takes to render the API. So let's see that in practical. So first of all, let me show you one thing, is that this one is the API, and you can if you go to the preview option, we can see the data as well. We have 11's data, and this is the endpoints of my API as well. So okay, and as you can see that API request is 200. That means the API request is success and the server response is success also, and server has given me this data as well. So let's see that we can debug the options as well. So first of all, let me show you one thing, that if when we are in this page view and features on this route, and that time when we switch our route, or also when we go to this route, initially that time the API is hits, right? And if it takes time to show the data in here, so as you can see, initially it takes time to show the data, and as you can see here is find all is 200. API request is 200. That means API request hit successful, but the server is giving the data lately. So let's see that in first of all we have to go to the source tab and type click on Ctrl P on from your keyboard and search that file. Suppose we are going to view features from this page, so we are going to search this page here. As you can see, view features, view features JSX. I'm using React, and as you can see, so here we are actually fetching the API. So let me just click on this line as well. So let me just click on these 23 number lines, that this is our first debugger, and let's click on this 25 number lines, and let's click on set data 27 number lines as well, to see that our API is hitting on this route. And I have said earlier that if we are on this route, initially it hits the server, the API hits the server, the API is telling the server I'm requesting you to give me the data. So let's see that the server is giving the data in return when I asked the server. So I have set the debugger options here, and we can see here in the right side of this menu, as you can on my mouse I am rounding here, and you can see we will see the data is coming here or not. So let's just see, and let's just reload our page just click on reload options. As you can see, the debugger is just catch here. That means we are enter on this function, and the data and as append data.append is successful. That we can see that this length is 2. That means here is the key and the value as well. So here is the on the right side the data from data, and the response is undefined. Okay, let's just click on to this play button and to the next debugger. So let us click on next. That means our API is hit, but data is not came yet. Interesting. And if we can see in this right side pan, so you can see that the response is undefined. So that means we did not get the data. So if we don't get the data, so the action of this async and await, it will do the same thing. It will take to this the first debugger as well. So let us see. Okay, it's processing, it's asking the data from the server. Let me just okay, now we can see it taking times. We didn't get the data still, so I just wait a bit. Okay, now it's finally get the data, as you can see. Okay, as you can see, we have got the 11th data after a long time, but it take a long time to keep the data as well. So here you might ask me that if I get the data, why this loader is still now here appearing here. So right, so this is appearing here because I have didn't clear my debugger. If I clear it out, so as you can see the data just came here. So here what we learn here is that initially when we are on this route, we are hitting the API on that time when we're on that route, but this thing would be happen like when I asking server, please give me the data, I'm requesting you through the API, but the data from the server is giving the data lately, and the server is responding lately, and so it's taking the time. So this might be the server problem as well, not the front end, right? So this is what I'm trying to show you in here. So you can use this debugger option to see the server is responding, the server is giving you the response on time or not. And interestingly, let me show you another thing. If I click on this reload, let me just click on this reload again, and if we go to the network tab, and let me just do it a little bit big, I can see it didn't hit the API request yet. If I click on this again and go to the network tab, we can see this, the API hit successful 200. As you can see, the API request is successful. The server takes the request successfully, but in return the server didn't request back. In return, server didn't give us the data. If we go to the preview option, we can see the data as well here. So let's just click on this again. We didn't get the data yet, but the request is successful. Okay, if so if it taking time as well, you can see here. Okay, now we get the data. If you go to this preview options, okay, okay, now if you click on this, remove this. Okay, let me just okay, we'll find the data here. Okay, now we can see that the request is successful and the data from the server, it's now come here now. So as you can see, I have the request from the front end is sending to the server frequently, but the server is accepted the request, but in return the server didn't give the data. So it's the server problems, right? So you can use these interesting Chrome DevTools to see the server, and you can also debug these options as well to see that code is working or not, the whenever you are working with the API, so you can check it out the your API is working correctly or not, or the data from the server is coming perfectly or not. You can check that with these beautiful tools as well. So that's all from my side for the day, and I hope you guys found something very interesting from this video. Or else, if you have any other suggestions, or if you know any better options, you can say it in the comment box as well. So that's all from my side. See you next video. Thank you.